I do not know a single soul that doesn't like Rice Krispie Treats. I love Rice Krispie Treats. They're one of my favorites. My dad loved Rice Krispie Treats too. They are just so super easy to make, and they're just gooey and chewy and they've got a crunch to them. They're addicting, but I love them. I purchased this box of Rice Krispie Treats for $7.98, and that comes out to 32 cents a piece. And then I purchased a box of Rice Krispies, some butter, of course we'll only use a little butter, and some marshmallows, and that totaled $8.44. So now I'm going to go ahead and make up the Rice Krispie Treats, and then we'll figure out how much that breaks down to per treat compared to the store-bought. And we'll also compare which ones we like the taste of the best. The recipe is on the side of the box. I'll show it to you if I can get it in focus. And the recipe on the box of the Rice Krispies is just a little bit different than the recipe that's on the marshmallow bag. The marshmallow bag calls for 5½ cups of marshmallows, but the recipe on the box of Krispies calls for 4 cups of miniature marshmallows. So I'm going to kind of split the difference, and we're going to use 5 cups of marshmallows today. And we need 6 cups of Rice Krispie Treats. I find it's a lot easier to measure out the Rice Krispies into a bowl so I can add the whole bowl into my marshmallows instead of trying to count out 6 cups while my marshmallows on the stove. Now the recipe calls for 3 tablespoons of butter, and that's about 3 tablespoons of butter, and just melt that. Once the butter has melted, then you can add the marshmallows. And just let those melt down. Don't want the heat too high because you don't want to burn it, and they melt pretty quickly. As soon as the marshmallows are all melted, turn off your heat, and now you can add your Rice Krispies. You want to be pretty quick about this and get it mixed in pretty quickly before it starts cooling off and it's not as easy to work with. And I don't like to mash it, I just like to keep folding it. Normally when I'm making Rice Krispie Treats, I will double the recipe and I will use this pan because I like them nice and thick. But I'm going to try and make them as much like this size as I can, so we have a good comparison. So I'm going to put it in this because that is about the height of the Rice Krispie Treats in the package. And don't worry about what's in there because I'm going to eat that in a minute. The easiest way that I have found to roll these out or to mash them in the pan is to use buttered fingers. And you never, never let anything go to waste. I'm trying to be fair here. I took one of these out of the package and I'm laying them across here to see how many I can get cut. And it looks like I'm gonna end up with 20. Just a tiny bit shy of 18. As close as I can figure, and I have to put a disclaimer in here, I was never really good at math, but I think we've got 32 cents per bar here, and that's what this is, this size right here. And I think we've got 13 cents for a Rice Krispie treat in my pan. I'll get one out. So there are the bars. This is the one I just made. This is the one that comes in the package. I think this one, well, I know this one is a little higher, but I also know I smashed this down really hard, so it could be, I tried weighing them and I couldn't really see any difference. However, the ones that I made, turns out that they cost 13 cents a piece versus 32 cents if you buy them. And I'm gonna get Chad up here. He's downstairs working right now. I'm gonna have him come up and we're gonna do a little taste test. But what I figured out was we used 28 cents worth of butter. We used $1.30 worth of marshmallows and 73 cents worth of Rice Krispies. This box is still rather full. This is what I think is really hilarious. When I call Chad up from the basement, he works downstairs, and I'll call him up for some reason or another, and you know, I'm busy right now. I'm kind of busy right now. Every time I've ever said, do you want a treat, or can you come up for a second and taste this? He's like, boom, he's up the stairs in a lickety-split.
Well, I knew for one thing what you were making. So
yeah.
that wasn't hard to make that decision.
And I did my own math today, Chad.
Do I need to double check it? Or
Nah,
should I
it's close enough.
Okay.
Close enough for who it's for.
I trust you.
But what I want to know is what you think.
Well, have you covered the math with them and how you came up?
Yes, I used, I think I covered it okay. I figured how many ounces were left of the Rice Krispies, and I figured out the same with the, just trust me.
Okay, well, I am. I eat your food, don't I?
Yeah.
I trust you.
Okay, I want to see what you think.
Well, I mean, actually, when I first looking at this here, I'm trying to figure out, well, here, where's the store-bought one?
Yeah.
But it's this one.
Yeah, and that one's harder.
Yeah, I didn't realize that was there until I saw that thing there. So.
And I already explained to them, I think these are just a little bit thinner.
A little bit thinner.
But I weighed them and I can't tell a difference because it hardly moves this at all.
Yeah.
And anyway, it's close enough. I think I mashed these.
Well.
Yeah, that's not working very good either.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't even move it.
Yeah. Well, it's not a very precise. Anyway. It's really hard to tell the difference between the store-bought and the homemade. I mean, this is a little bit more uniform and everything. And it's harder. I mean, this is much softer.
Yeah, tomorrow that'll be harder.
Yeah, yeah.
But they won't be around tomorrow.
But no, these will be gone today.
Well, and when we buy them in a box, we open one and we just eat one. When we make a pan, we just eat it till it's gone.
You have to eat it before they get hard and stale and they go bad. Because these don't have any preservatives and these do.
That is a huge benefit to making them.
Yeah, yeah. And so this is just Rice Krispies, butter, and marshmallows, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And I don't know if you...
No preservatives in.
Yeah, there's nothing in there. Mm-hmm. So, is it okay?
Yeah.
It tastes like a Rice Krispie treat.
Yep.
It's so good. Now, don't get me wrong.
Well, let's see what you think of that one.
At a family reunion, someone came up with, you know, some Rice Krispies Treats in a wrapper, I wouldn't turn it down. I'd eat it. I mean, it's just a little bit more crunchy, a little bit tougher to get my teeth through it. And at my age, that's a real consideration. But I think if I was to do it blindfolded and you were to give me, you know, a bite of each one, especially if this was like a day old, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. And this is a little bit crunchier.
Yeah.
It's just a little bit softer is all.
Yeah.
You can't taste the preservatives, but that's, I guess, you know.
Yeah, that's the real plus
the
to making
idea
it.
behind it, though.
Yeah.
But the big thing for me, 13 cents versus 33.
That is a big thing for Chad. If you know Chad, that is a big thing.
I would make these, I would have Jennifer make these in a heartbeat if we were ever going to like a family reunion or going to a church function where we needed to bring a treat. Oh yeah, we'd make these homemade. I keep saying we, but Jennifer would make these.
I'm glad that Chad has been conscientious of our budget.
Well,
You've been good.
Yeah.
So have I.
You've been really good. And good at making these here. Thank you so much.
Thanks for watching, everybody. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already subscribed, what you waiting for? Subscribe to my channel.
It's less than 13 cents to subscribe.
Oh yeah, it's free. See you later, guys. Bye-bye.